This is a world where slaves can be bought with money. Yet one man owns a breathtaking girl from the Fox clan and mistreats her every single day. Little does anyone know, the girl actually carries noble Fox clan blood, but a childhood trauma has sealed away most of her power. Young Master Zane from the tribe has his eye on her, offering gold and 3 top-grade female slaves in exchange, wanting to take her home and discipline her properly. Lee refuses. Give me 10 slaves and I still won't trade. Young Master Zane flies into a rage and strikes him dead on the spot. The poor Fox clan girl Faye is then framed accused of unleashing her demonic nature and killing her master, and Zane's family wants to refine her essence to eliminate the threat. Faye tries to run but fails, and is dragged to the public square, where the crowd gropes and harasses her. None of this was expected. I had fallen asleep reading this novel, and woken up inside Lee's body. This was the novel I hadn't finished yet, called The Villain Heroines Love Me So Much. I have no time to think. I burst out the door, and see the girl being dragged by her hair, the crowd pointing and jeering at her. A man shoves a wooden stick into my hand. Hey, caught your runaway slave for you. She's all yours now. Suddenly a flash of golden light erupts, and a small round robot appears. He introduces himself as, "My system, Pip. My mission in this world is to redeem 7 villain heroines. If any one of them hits 5 stars on the blackening meter, I drop dead on the spot." And right now, Faye's blackening meter is rising fast. Seeing me frozen, a man nearby sneers, and casually tosses an egg at the girl's head. I rush forward to shield her. "Everyone back off. I dare any of you to touch her." A girl from the Snake Clan in the crowd looks stunned. He's actually protecting Faye, but Pip sends an urgent alert. Her blackening meter is still climbing. I suddenly realize how stupid I've been. In her eyes, I'm her worst enemy. Showing kindness out of nowhere will only make her think I'm planning something. I immediately drop my expression. "She's my woman. Who gave you the right to interfere?" The crowd bursts out laughing and disperses. So he's just jealous. We thought he actually had a change of heart. I keep up the act. "From now on, stay away from her. Anyone who touches her again, I'll cut them down." The girl stares at my back, eyes filled with hatred, clutching a sharp piece of rock so tightly her palm is bleeding. The moment I turn around, she trembles all over, and only after a few seconds of silence does she cautiously open one eye. I give a cold snort. "Get back home, now." Pip delivers good news. The blackening meter has stopped rising. Seeing her still on the ground, I bark at her. "If your legs aren't broken, get up. You think I have patience." She hesitates for a moment, but ultimately decides to follow me home. Not far away. The Snake Clan girl smirks. This guy is actually kind of interesting. On the way home, I keep up the tough act. "Move it. Walk any slower and I'll break your legs." But she's covered in injuries, and suddenly runs out of strength, collapsing right in front of me. Poor little fox spirit. "Let me save you properly." Back home, I ask Pip for the starter pack, and all I get is 10 points. I can buy things from the system shop, but nothing good is within reach, so I reluctantly spend 2 points on a set of new clothes for her. The girl remains unconscious for 3 days before she finally wakes up. I bring her a freshly brewed herbal remedy and tell her to drink up, but she looks absolutely terrified, and the blackening meter goes up. Pip explains that she thinks the medicine is poisoned. I have no choice but to keep acting. "You want to die in this room? Drink it, or I'll drag you outside." She quickly takes the bowl, downs it, then glares at me hard. "What are you planning next?" But inside she's thinking, he got knocked out because of me. There's no way he'll let this slide. I'd rather end it myself. I catch the death wish in her eyes and toss the new clothes onto her head. "Don't you dare think about dying. If you die, I'll desecrate your corpse." Then I set down a plate of food. "I gave you new clothes and now I'm feeding you. You better be grateful, understood?" But up on the roof beam, a green snake is watching in secret, thinking, he's still as cruel as ever. Nothing has changed. The snake slips away and transforms into the Snake Clan girl. Strange. That day, he really felt like a completely different person. But as long as he keeps mistreating Faye, I still have my chance. As she stands there thinking, 2 women call out from behind. "Zara! Come pick fruit with us." Zara turns around with a bright smile. "Sure." Back inside, I lay into Faye with a sneer. "What, you think any stray off the street can be my slave? Change your clothes now, don't embarrass the Lee name, and finish every last bite of that food. Not a single scrap left." Somehow, her blackening meter ticks up a notch. I'm baffled. Is being mean not allowed either? This is impossible. Pip tells me I'm not acting mean enough. She still suspects the food is poisoned. I reach into the bowl and pull out a chicken leg. "Almost forgot this was in the soup. You don't deserve it. Tastes fine, but looking at you ruins my appetite." Then I slam the door and walk out. The moment I leave, she finally lets her guard down, grabs the chicken and tears into it like she hasn't eaten a decent meal in years. Halfway through, she breaks into tears. Pip shows me the live feed. The blackening meter has finally dropped. I can't help but mutter out loud, a girl this beautiful, and the original Lee spent every day tormenting her. That guy wasn't even human. I catch my reflection in a nearby water jar and realize I look absolutely disgusting. Turns out the original Lee hadn't bathed in months. I grit my teeth and spend 1 point on a bath kit from the system shop, then spend another point on a medical kit to treat her wounds. I head to her door, figuring she should be done with dinner by now. now, and kick it open. She jumps in fright and sets down her chopsticks. The sight of her makes me feel guilty. I forgot she was hurt. Eating must be slow and painful for her. I sit down with a stiff expression. Keep eating. Even my dog knows not to leave food behind. Don't tell me you've forgotten. What happens? She stares up at me, wide-eyed, and goes back to shoveling food into her mouth, looking completely wronged. Faye watches me digging around in my pocket, convinced I'm about to pull some new trick on her. She flinches from a sudden sting, tears welling in her eyes, certain I'm applying poison, thinking I'm still the same cruel Lee she has always known. But I'm actually cleaning her wounds with alcohol pads, and I say nothing, letting her believe it's just more torment. Keep eating. Don't stop. Hold out that injured hand. Every wound gets treated. Once she finishes eating, I toss out a line as I head for the door. Done with the medicine. I'm out. Faye looks back. Confused. Wasn't that supposed to be poison? She tries to stop me. Wait. Where are you going? Isn't this your room? I shut the door quickly. Looks like I'll be sleeping in the cold storage room tonight. But somehow, my heart feels warm. Once she sees the wounds getting better tomorrow, she'll know I was looking out for her. The blackening meter is sure to drop. Pip also fills me in on the points rules. Each villain heroine has both a blackening meter and an affection meter. 5 stars on blackening means total corruption. 5 stars on affection means full completion. Each star costs 3,000 points. I've only got 7 points left, but after everything I've done for her, I should earn at least 100 points by tomorrow. The next morning, 0 points. I'm completely floored. Then I catch a sour smell coming from my clothes. Right, I was so focused on her yesterday, I forgot to bathe myself. I get a sudden idea. What if Faye sees a clean, sharp-looking me, and I'm warm and gentle with her? Wouldn't the affection meter shoot up? With that thought, I grab my toiletries and head outside for a proper wash. A while later, Faye hears the door open, and in walks a guy who looks almost radiant, clean and sharp. She stares blankly. Who are you? I smirk. Good looking, right? Pretty stunning? The moment she recognizes me, she goes straight back on high alert, and the blackening meter starts fluctuating. I groan internally. By any measure, I'm at least half a legendary beauty. Why is she still going dark? Then again, if some gorgeous stranger suddenly acted all warm toward me, I'd be suspicious too. No choice but to keep playing the villain. I snap at her. Why are you still wearing those rags? What, you hate the clothes I gave you? Or are you trying to make the Lee name look cheap? She freezes in place, watching me carefully. I bark. What are you staring at? Go change. Now, she says quietly. I'm supposed to cook right now. I grab her by the wrist. You're not cooking today. Stay home and think about what you've done. I give her a light shove back and storm out the door. She peeks around the doorframe, watching me walk away, then turns back to look at the clothes. She thinks over everything I've done for her these past 2 days, and gets confused. I let my master get beaten. I tried to escape, and he still didn't kill me. Why? He even gave me these nice new clothes, and my wounds are better than yesterday. Is he actually looking after me? But a tiny devil pops up in her mind. Are you seriously that naive? The guy beat you every day. He skips one day and now you think he cares about you? Faye slaps her own cheeks. You're right. People don't just change overnight. He's planning something. Don't fall for it. Meanwhile, I'm outside betting with Pip. Once she puts on the pretty outfit and feels good, the affection meter will go up, right? Pip reports back. Disappointed, Faye's blackening meter has gone up by 0.03. I collapse on the ground. Find someone else for this job. Pip patiently talks me down. You cannot give up. If you do, we both die. A few minutes later, I walk back in carrying an armful of firewood, and she still hasn't changed. I throw the firewood to the ground in frustration. Go take a bath and change those clothes. You don't like what I picked? It's not that. She scrambles down to pick up the firewood. Stop her. Who told you to pick that up? If your wounds reopen, I'm the one paying for the doctor. She asks quietly. Then what should I do? I tell her to go get cleaned up, take a bath, and come out spotless. Faye nods and thinks to herself, so he really hasn't changed. And I actually hoped he had. 5 minutes later, I have her bathwater ready and tell her to hurry up. She backs away, so I say with a dismissive wave, any other servant would be 100 times more useful than you, who'd want to watch. Only once I step out does she finally let her guard down. Faye sits in the wooden tub with a troubled look. Outside, I vent to Pip. Faye alone is already this much work. What am I supposed to do with the other 6? Whatever happened to the glorious transmigration fantasy? Pip cheers me on. Once you complete all 7 villain heroines, you'll have the 7 most powerful warriors in the world. I give a thumbs up. Now that's a plan. An hour later, Faye finishes her bath and steps out in the new outfit. She looks absolutely stunning, but I keep a completely straight face. Not bad, barely passable. Secretly, I've already made up my mind to keep earning her good graces and buy her every beautiful thing I can. My words send her spiraling into self-doubt. He's still not satisfied. I yawn and say I'm heading inside to rest. Once you're done tidying up, come in and keep watch while I sleep. Guard me properly. I grab her face as a warning. If I wake up in the middle of the night and you're gone, you won't like what happens. Before stepping inside, I turn back one more time. Stop all chores for now. If your injuries get worse, I'll have to spend money on a doctor. She watches the door close, and something finally clicks. So he's just worried about wasting money. That's why he's been checking on me. Fine, that works. She sits down on the floor and cries quietly. Running away didn't work, but at least I'm alive. Things aren't as unbearable as they used to be. I watch this through a crack in the door. Pip congratulates me the blackening meter has dropped significantly. I grab Pip in excitement. If we keep this up, we'll max out the affection meter for sure. I watch Faye and smile to myself. Little fool. I'm not the same Lee who used to hurt you. One day you'll see I genuinely mean well. Just as I close my eyes to sleep, I hear rustling. I open my eyes and see Faye sitting at the edge of the bed. I ask urgently, "What are you doing?" She looks confused. "Didn't you tell me to protect you?" I scramble back toward the headboard. "You've got some nerve, but lately your attitude has been..." I put on my most menacing expression and shove her aside. "This bed is too soft. I'm sleeping on the floor tonight." She wants to say something more, but finds I've already passed out. Faye feels a quiet sense of relief and soon drifts off to sleep, but the dreams that come are painful ones from her childhood. Her village was set ablaze by raiders, her parents shielding her in the chaos, urging her to run as fast as she could, but she was struck from behind and collapsed to the ground with serious wounds. When she woke up, she was locked in a cage, reduced to a human slave. The agonizing memories shake her whole body, and no matter how I call her name, she doesn't respond. The blackening meter is slowly climbing. I figure she must be reliving those terrible memories in her sleep. A girl with noble Fox clan blood, sold into slavery as a child and subjected to every kind of humiliation. According to the novel, the trauma she suffered as a child sealed away most of her power, leaving her as the vulnerable, beaten-down girl she is now. I gently wipe the tears from the corner of her eyes, then notice the wounds on her legs haven't fully healed, and without a word, I pull out the medical kit and carefully apply the medicine. This will help it heal faster. She trembles from the pain but keeps her eyes shut, seeming still asleep, so I keep going. But Faye is already awake. She thinks, "What is he doing to me? It hurts." Once I finish and go back to sleep, she lets out a long breath, but she can't help opening her eyes. "If you're going to kill me, just do it. Why drag out the torture?" She reaches for a shard hidden in a piece of cloth and points it toward my throat. "Don't blame me for this." Then suddenly, her wound starts to itch. She looks down, it's already forming a scab. She realizes what I applied must have been a healing medicine, and for the first time, her affection meter goes up. The next morning, Pip jolts me awake. "Big trouble! Rex, the original male lead, has transmigrated into this world too." The news hits me like a thunderbolt. "Why does it have to be him?" Pip adds urgently. "His system is called Slick. If he completes all 7 villain heroines before us, the main system will wipe us both out." But I take a breath and think it through. No need to panic. I gained 30 points last night. That means my approach is working. And if Rex wants to get close to Faye, he'll have to go through me first. I walk over to Faye's side and see she's still asleep. I gently brush her hair, then I tiptoe out the door. Faye, who was only pretending to sleep, lies there puzzled. What is he performing now? 10 minutes later, I head out to the fields and run into 3 women. 2 of them whisper to each other. "Wasn't Lee supposed to be ugly and mean? He actually looks pretty clean and sharp in person." I clear my throat with a satisfied smirk. "Feel free to say that louder. I don't mind." The Snake Clan woman smiles. "You've changed a lot from before." She holds out a melon. "I'm Luna. We just picked these. They're very sweet." I protest politely, but my hand honestly reaches right out and takes it. Luna adds, "We picked plenty. You could bring some back for your slave to try." I immediately snap into full drama mode. Her? A slave tasting my food? She doesn't deserve it. As the 3 of them turn to leave, Luna glances back at me with a meaningful look. "Goodbye, Lee." I give a polite wave, then turn to Pip. "Is there anyone named Luna in the original novel?" Pip searches and replies, "She's not among the 7 you need to complete. Maybe your charm is attracting new characters." I grin honestly. That tracks. Back home, I head into the kitchen to cook, only to find the fire starter is empty, so I spend 1 point in the system shop on a lighter. I'm feeling pretty smug, about to show these peasants what modern technology looks like. When Faye pushes the door open, "I heard you were in the kitchen?" I instinctively stomp on the lighter to hide it, then catch myself. "What's it to you?" she says softly. "I'm here to cook." I grab a stick. "You do your thing." I'm practicing fire starting with wood, but after rubbing away for a while, not even a single spark appears, and I'm starting to feel ridiculous. When Faye quietly crouches down, picks up a piece of wood and says, "Let me." A small flame blooms from her right hand and lights all the firewood in the stove at once. Stare, jaw dropped. Was that magic? She lowers her head quietly. My power hasn't fully returned, but starting a small fire is still within reach. I knew this was a fantasy world, but seeing it with my own eyes is something else entirely. I tug excitedly at her sleeve. "Do you need a spell to go with that gesture?" She says. "Just focus your power and align your intent. That's all." I ask in amazement. "Is that how you always started fires? Does the flame hurt your fingers?" She looks a little dazed by the questions. "No, it doesn't hurt." I keep going. "Is there any cost to using that ability? Can I learn it too?" No wonder this world never needed to develop technology. Faye is completely overwhelmed by my rapid-fire questions, and thinks to herself, what is he even talking about? But he's actually kind of cute. The little devil in her head immediately knocks on her skull. "Are you losing your mind? Don't forget what he put you through all these years. This is all an act. Faye's thoughts grow more tangled. Yet she can't deny he really has been different these past 2 days. But my attention has already shifted. Pip just told me the system shop has skills available for purchase. Unfortunately, I only have 46 points, barely enough for one skill called Danger Sense, which warns me of threats 10 seconds in advance. Doesn't sound that impressive. It can be upgraded, but even the base price is steep for me right now. Faye cooks while sneaking glances at me, thinking, he's actually pretty good looking now, and he smells nice too. She zones out just long enough for the water in the pot to nearly boil over. I notice her face cycling between pink and dark and worry she's about to hit the blackening meter again. So I quickly pull out the melon Luna gave me. Look what I've got. She blinks. Where did that melon come from? I say proudly, I went out for firewood this morning, and a girl from the tribe gave it to me. Said it was very sweet. Faye's expression shifts. A girl gave it to you? I don't catch on to her change in tone. Of course. Don't all you women love this kind of thing? I don't care for sweets, so it's yours. She slams the pot lid down. I don't want it. The bang startles me, but I compose myself. Since when do you get to refuse what I give you? I set the melon down, tell her to focus on cooking, then use the smoke as an excuse and slip out. Outside, I let out a long breath and ask Pip for a status update. Pip sounds puzzled. Faye's emotions are fluctuating wildly, but it's not blackening. I breathe easy. As long as she's not going dark, we're fine. Back in the kitchen, Faye glares at the melon on the table. So when other girls give you things, you just never say no? She doesn't realize she's jealous. Outside, I stare at the system panel and grumble. Bad enough the functions are limited, but points are this hard to earn too? How am I supposed to compete with Rex at this rate? Pip quickly reassures me. Once all 7 villain heroines enter the picture, the points will start rolling in naturally. I let myself daydream for a moment, but then reality hits. Faye alone is already enough to drive me crazy. This grand destiny might be more than I can handle. That afternoon, the tribe's central square fills with people. Elder Shu announces the winter arrangements. Female slaves are assigned to harvest cotton, male slaves to hunt, and rank 2 warriors are to protect all female slaves. I scan the crowd for Faye, and spot her immediately. She stands out completely. I try to catch her eye and wave, but she pouts and turns away without a second glance. I scratch my head in disbelief. Seriously? I literally just gave her a melon yesterday. How much longer do I have to play this villain role? 5 days pass quickly. I go to Elder Shu demanding answers. Every other slave has returned. Where is Faye? I want an explanation today. Elder Shu immediately summons a guard for questioning. Guard stammers out the truth. It's not my fault. She kept to herself and got pushed out by the others. She ended up picking cotton alone in a corner. Word is she was taken by the Dark Clan. I grab him by the collar. And you're only telling me this now? What kind of protection is that? The guard shrugs him off. I was there to supervise work, not babysit. If she wandered off alone, that's on her. Slaves aren't exactly rare. Just buy another one. I swing at him in fury. You useless piece of trash. He blocks it. Elder Shu watches us scuffle and rushes over to break it up. Crowd whispers. Of course he's angry. He can't afford another slave. He'll have to do everything himself. I shake free of the guard and shout at everyone. Faye was taken, not killed. I will bring her back. The crowd bursts out laughing. All this passion over one slave? I return home and rummage around for a decent weapon. Pip reminds me. Your presence didn't change the plot point where she gets captured, but if we rescue her before Rex does, we'll have the advantage. Meanwhile, outside the city gates, Rex gets a report from his system. Slick. Another system has been detected in this world, but we can't pinpoint it yet. Rex thinks it over. Could be Faye's pathetic former master. He should have died days ago, but he's still breathing. Think it's him? Slick flatters him smoothly. Plot deviations happen. A cannon fodder side character is nothing to worry about. The whole story revolves around you, after all. Rex scoffs. Afraid of a nobody? Once I rescue Faye and take her away from all this, far from the master who only ever hurt her, she'll be completely devoted to me. Back home, I'm packing my bag when I suddenly sneeze. Who's talking about me? Meanwhile, deep in a dark cave somewhere, Faye is chained in a cell, as 3 women from the Dark Clan close in. The Dark Clan is a people cursed by divine punishment, cast aside by gods and light alike, accepted by no one, condemned to wander endlessly in darkness with no hope of belonging. One of them clutches her stomach, staring at Faye with hungry eyes. I can't take it anymore. I'm starving. Let me just cut a small piece and try it. She's about to reach out when a purple-haired woman snatches the knife from her. I know you're hungry, but hold yourself together. Look at this girl. Look how beautiful she is. The purple-haired woman taps Faye's cheek lightly with the flat of the blade. Carving into skin this smooth with a knife would be an absolute waste. She leans in and inhales deeply. It's been years since I've smelled anything this clean. I was just as beautiful when I was young. The purple-haired woman looks up at Faye and laughs out loud. The next second, a flame ignites in Faye's eyes. I arrive at the tribe's gate. Elder Shu blocks my way. The Dark Clan roams and ambushes beyond the walls, and I'm going out alone without a single warrior. You never even liked Faye. Why risk your life for her? I come up with a ridiculous excuse. Faye is my slave. If the Dark Clan does something to her, where does that leave my reputation? Elder Shu shakes his head with genuine sorrow. I was your father's closest friend. That's the only reason I'm telling you to turn back. I dig a finger in my ear, completely unbothered. My slave, my call. Honestly, Elder Shu is a decent person. It's surprising anyone cared whether the original Li lived or died, but I've barely taken a few steps outside the tribe. When a chill runs down my spine, I spin around, nothing there. Pip suggests, maybe use danger sense now? In a situation like this, it's basically a lifesaver. I hesitate, about to negotiate with Pip over the cost, when a red and black shadow flickers right in front of me, and the next second I vanish from the spot entirely. When I open my eyes, I find myself inside a dim cave. Pip actually congratulates me. Turns out the one who grabbed me is the second villain heroine, the queen of the Dark Clan, and she's heading this way. Before I can even look for somewhere to hide, she tackles me to the ground. The woman in front of me is cold and striking, with an air of absolute authority in her eyes. Definitely the commanding type. Her ice-cold fingertips trail across my cheek. I speak up nervously. You're very beautiful, but she cuts me off immediately. Perfect timing that you're awake. Let's have a child together. I nearly think I've misheard and scramble backwards, but inside I'm panicking. I came here to rescue Faye, and the Dark Queen's blackening meter is already rising. A headache hits immediately. Great. Another one piling on the pressure. I think fast. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Have you ever wondered why you're the only one? She actually pauses. Now that you mention it, why am I the only one? I smile. Exactly. These things require the right time, the right place, and the right connection. The Dark Queen leans in. What does that mean? It only works between two people who are deeply in love. And since this is our first meeting, shouldn't we get to know each other first? She listens intently and actually pulls out a small notebook to take notes, then looks up at me with shining eyes. I knew I had good judgment. You know so much. But this Dark Queen is relentlessly forward, and she even confesses openly. I like you. I fell for you the moment I saw you protecting that female slave. My heart lurches, so she's already seen Faye. She holds up 2 fingers with a smile. It's okay if you like me a little less. I like you twice as much. Add it together and it evens out, right? Then she waves a hand, and red-black shadows wrap tightly around my arms and legs. I completely lose my composure. What are you doing? She smiles, radiant and dangerous all at once. I shout in desperation, this is not okay. Put the shadows away first. She just lets out a soft laugh. Don't worry. I'm completely lost. What kind of villain heroine is this? She doesn't even need to be won over. Pip sounds the alarm. With Nyx's personality, she will keep you locked up for a long time. Mission failure, and we both die. Then it hits me the novel mentioned this. The Dark Clan can drain a person's life force, and if that person hasn't eaten, it could be fatal. She clearly likes me too much to let me die. I let my voice go faint. I'm so hungry, I really need to eat something. Her expression immediately fills with guilt. I forgot I hadn't fed you since bringing you here. I'm sorry. I almost got you killed. I'm celebrating inside, and Pip gives me a thumbs up. Nyx transforms into a streak of red shadow and flies out of the cave. I take the chance and prepare to make my escape. Pip douses my excitement cold. If Nyx comes back and finds you gone, her blackening meter will hit 5 stars. I stand there stunned. Running means death. Staying means death. I ask Pip to dig into Nyx's backstory from the novel and find an opening. Meanwhile, Nyx has already tracked down a tiger in the wild. The tiger swipes at her and she doesn't flinch, casually snapping off a branch to pin up her hair, then says coldly, I don't have time for this today. Let's make it quick. She's back in the cave before long. I'm back. I brought you a big fat tiger. Do you prefer the leg or the back? The sight stops her cold. I'm no longer inside. I've slipped out to a small stream nearby and I'm fishing. 3 Dark Clan women are crouched in the bushes, whispering. When I pull up a fat carp, Pip acts as translator. Turns out these women want to grab me and cook me over a fire. Absolutely horrifying. A chill runs down my back. I pretend to mutter to myself, 1 fish isn't enough. Better catch another one. Then I grab the fish and bolt. The 3 of them react instantly and give chase. I run and wail at the same time. This world is way too dangerous. If I don't rack up points and buy some survival skills soon, I'm finished. Pip shouts frantically, they're getting closer. I am absolutely not dying in this Dark Clan forest, but my foot catches on a root and I go flying forward, about to become their lunch. A blade flashes. I break into a cold sweat and ask Pip, am I still in one piece? Pip tells me to look back. The 3 Dark Clan women are in pieces on the ground. Nyx stands there, expression dark. You left the cave just to meet these women? Pip tells me her emotions are volatile, and the blackening meter is accelerating 3 seconds in. At the very last second, I lunge forward and wrap my arms around her. She goes still, and the blackening meter stops. I rush to explain. Thank goodness you saved me. Look at the fish I caught for you. She looks uncertain. For me? I place the rope tied to the fish in her hands. You're so thin. Someone needs to look after you. Nyx feels a warmth in her chest. I'm sorry. I misread the situation. I thought you were running away from me. She pulls me into a tight embrace. You're the best man I've ever met in this world. Back in the cave, she works on the tiger and says, that was my fault this time, but don't worry, I'm strong. From now on, whatever happens, I'll protect you. I smile and nod on the outside, but inside I'm shaking. If I had actually run, I'd be the one in pieces right now. A few minutes later, she hands me a dripping piece of raw meat. I stare at it, speechless, but I don't dare refuse. She looks at me warmly. Once you're done eating, it'll be time to get to the real business. I laugh awkwardly and tell her I can't eat raw meat. Her expression goes stiff immediately. She thinks I'm making excuses because I don't like her. The blackening meter is spiking. I jump in fast. Raw meat will make you sick. She stares at me in disbelief. Wolf Clan people don't eat raw meat? I raise my hand and swear. Times have changed. The tribe gave up raw meat ages ago. Once I cook this and eat, I'll do whatever you say. Just help me chip open the middle of that rock, and I'll make you something delicious. Nyx lets out a skeptical "oh" and picks up a sharp stone, starting to chip away at the boulder. Before long, she carves out a rough stone pot. I spend 1 point in the system shop to grab a packet of spice broth seasoning, and watch her haul over an armful of firewood, little face still puffed up with irritation. I grin and ask her to help gut the fish. She mutters to herself, "How much longer do I have to wait?" Once the fish is gutted, she crouches beside me and stares up eagerly. "Is it ready yet?" I drop the fish into the stone pot and tell her to wait a few more minutes. When I pull out my lighter and spark the firewood, Nyx flinches violently and crashes straight to the ground. The Dark Clan, it turns out, is terrified of fire. Completely unaware, I'm still humming to myself and tending the pot, until Pip frantically tells me to turn around. Nyx is ghost white, her whole body trembling. She fixes me with a hard stare. "All those little tricks. You just wanted to start a fire and kill me?" The flames grow higher, and she instinctively scrambles backward. I try carefully. "You're afraid of fire?" She laughs coldly. "Not eating raw meat was just an excuse. You never wanted to be with me. You made me do all that work just to find a chance to kill me." I am absolutely floored by where her imagination takes her. Slowly, I walk toward her, under her wary gaze. I reach out and take her cold hand in mine, and guide her back to the pot. I lit the fire to cook the meat. The fire lights up the cave. How else could I see your beautiful face? And it keeps us warm. Nyx stares at me, frozen. He wasn't trying to kill me after all. I lead her over to the stone bed, settle her down to rest, and tell her to leave the rest to me. Then I pick out a piece of firewood and whittle 2 pairs of chopsticks. A short while later, the fragrant poached fish is ready. I pick out a piece of belly meat and offer it to her. This part is the most tender, no bones. She picks up the chopsticks and fumbles with them for a long time, but the fish keeps slipping away. I can see she has no idea how to use them. "Here, let me show you." I gently wrap my hand around hers. Index finger and thumb work together like this. "Take your time. Tell me how it tastes." The fish finally makes it into her mouth. Her eyes light up. "It's so good." I smile. "Eat as much as you like. I can make this for you all the time." She digs in without holding back. Pip chimes in. Nyx's affection meter plus 0.5. 30 points rewarded. Flush with points. I spend 45 to unlock the danger sense skill, then have Pip sync Nyx's background file. The moment I close my eyes, I step into her memories. Nyx is a half-blood, Dark Clan and human. Both parents died when she was small. She grew up drifting, unwanted. Humans rejected her. The Dark Clan rejected her. She nearly starved to death more than once, which left her with a bone-deep obsession with food. A brutal childhood taught her how to survive, but no one ever taught her how to love. By the time I finish reading her story, tears are already rolling down my face. Nyx stops eating and looks at me, puzzled. "Why are you crying?" I wipe my eyes and pull her into my arms. "As long as I'm here, you will never be alone again." She stiffens slightly, then lets out a quiet, Pip delivers the good news. Nyx's affection meter +1. 60 points received. I feel pretty smug about this. That wasn't so hard, was it? But across town, the tribal square has erupted into chaos. Faye stands at the center of the crowd, eyes ice cold. "Why is my master the one who's gone missing? Did someone do this on purpose?" The people around her scramble to explain. "Don't do anything rash. We've already sent people to look for him." Rex watches from the sidelines, deeply confused. This isn't how the plot is supposed to go. He hasn't even gone to rescue Faye yet. And she's already back? What is he supposed to do now? Slick is just as lost. Meanwhile, back in the cave, Nyx pins me to the ground again. "You said once you ate, you'd do what I say." I ask her quietly, "Do you remember why you were mistreated as a child? Do you really want our children to go through that same pain?" She goes rigid, then narrows her eyes. "How do you know about my past?" I explain, "Dark Clan members can't reproduce with each other, so I figured you must be a child of the Dark Clan and another race." She slowly sits up, says she needs some air, and melts into a shadow, slipping out of the cave. I let out a long breath. Crisis managed, for now. Then Pip starts buzzing like a panicked bee. "Something big is happening back home. Faye's blackening meter is surging. If we don't stop it, we're done for." My scalp goes numb. I'm about to head back when Pip tells me there's no time to walk. He can activate the coordinate teleport, but the system charges 50 points for it. I almost choke with rage, but I grit my teeth and buy it. I materialize right outside the tribe's entrance. A crowd has already gathered ahead. I push through, calling out, "I'm back. Make way, everyone." Faye had been in the middle of beating a tribal warrior. The moment she hears my voice, she spins around. I catch a glimpse of what she's doing and feel a jolt of panic. I'm back safe. Nothing happened. She stares at me, stunned, and asks how I got back. Pip reports in. Faye's blackening meter is dropping. That catches me off guard. Elder Shu's beard is practically vibrating with fury. "Is this how you train your slave? She dares strike a tribal warrior?" I scoff. "If my female slave can beat them, what kind of warriors are they? Besides, a slave protecting her master is only right. Faye did nothing wrong." I jab a finger toward Elder Shu's face. "When the Dark Clan dragged me away, did any of your warriors come to save me? Maybe just disband them all?" With that, I naturally take Faye's hand and start walking her home. She can barely believe what just happened. Her cheeks flush faintly. Affection meter ticks up. 60 more points in my pocket. Nearby, Rex rounds on Slick. How is this cannon fodder Lee still not dead? Are you sure you gave me the real novel? Slick tries to reassure him. It's definitely the original. Rex has no choice but to head outside the tribe, planning to find Nyx instead. According to the source material, one stroll through the forest should guarantee a run-in with her. Up in a tree at the edge of the tribe, Luna is deep in thought. There's something strange about Lee. She drops into human form. How did a useless, broke, young master like him escape the Dark Clan? Elder Shu watches Lee walk away, fuming. He's convinced Lee was never captured at all, just too lazy to come home. Back at the house, I stare at Faye without saying a word. Her face goes red. She can't sit still. I suddenly raise my hand, and she leaps to her feet in fright. Why so tense again? I ask, genuinely puzzled. You were doing fine just now. She mumbles, nothing. I should go cook. Then she dashes for the kitchen. The system quietly logs her affection meter creeping upward. Is she starting to like me? Interesting. I may need to switch up my approach. Then Pip fires off a warning. Nyx walked back to the cave after clearing her head, and I'm not there. She thinks I ran. Her blackening meter is climbing fast. I groan. According to Pip, the original author set a rule. The villain heroines can't meet each other in the early stages. I have to check in with Faye first before heading back, or she'll spiral the moment I disappear. And she's by far the hardest one to calm down. On the other side, inside the cave, the floor is a wreck. Nyx is in a full rage. All those sweet words, just so you could find a chance to run. You liar, you won't get away. Then she hears a familiar voice. Nyx, what's wrong? She whips around and finds me down on one knee, holding something out with both hands. Look what I brought you. Her anger vanishes instantly. She realizes she was wrong. I hadn't run at all. She throws open her arms and launches herself at me, knocking me flat on the ground. Pip reminds me I can't afford to go soft, not with 6 more villain heroines still to handle. I put on a serious face and ask Nyx, you know how dangerous it is for the Dark Clan and the Wolf Clan to be together, right? That's why I need to understand you first. I ask if she's willing to trust me. She nods again and again. Of course I trust you. My thinking, if I wear her out, I can keep things under control. I scoop her up and carry her to the rug nearby. She nods along without complaint. I set her down gently, and before long she's too tired to stay awake. Pip delivers the good news. Nyx's blackening meter drops sharply. Affection meter plus 0.5, 30 points rewarded. All that effort wasn't wasted after all. I lie down on the floor for a quick rest. Back at the Wolf Clan tribe, Faye stares down at her hands and notices her strength has grown, likely triggered when she escaped the Dark Clan last time. From a nearby tree, Luna watches with a furrowed brow. Lee clearly never left the tribe today. How did he just vanish into thin air? How very strange, and yet more and more interesting. Inside the cave, I'm about to light a fire for warmth when Nyx stirs awake and murmurs groggily, "What's going on?" I answer gently, "You just got tired and fell asleep. Feeling better?" She happily wraps her arms around me. "You didn't leave?" I smile. "I'd never abandon you." I look at her seriously. "But I do need to go back to the tribe sometimes, otherwise people will worry." I reassure her, "It's fine. You know where I live. I'm not going anywhere." She hesitates. I hold up 3 fingers and swear I won't run. She thinks it over. "I need to mark you. Once the mark is set, I can sense your location at any time. Then I'll feel safe." I blink. "How does the marking work?" She eyes my neck and leaves a bite mark on it. It fades in moments. The soul mark lets her track me anytime, and if I'm ever in danger, she'll know instantly. For me, it's an extra layer of protection too. I point toward the cave entrance. "Can I go now?" She smiles softly. "Off you go, babe." I wave goodbye and walk a good distance before teleporting back to the tribe, making sure she doesn't suspect anything. I've barely slipped into a patch of thick brush when I hear something behind me. It's Rex, the original male lead, here, of all places. He's complaining to Slick about failing to find Nyx, and nearly got grabbed by a group of Dark Clan women on top of it. Slick encourages him to keep trying. According to the plot, a walk through the forest is guaranteed to trigger a run-in with Nyx. It hits me immediately. His plot point is one I already used. If Rex finds Nyx, that's a disaster. The guy is good looking and has the real system. How am I supposed to compete? Besides, Nyx has obligations to me. I teleport back to the cave right away. Nyx is lying on the stone bed looking bored, but the moment she hears footsteps, she sits up eagerly and looks toward the entrance. I give her an awkward smile and wave. "Nyx, I just remembered something I forgot to take care of." She lights up and rushes at me with open arms. "You came back. Did you miss me that much?" She throws her arms around my neck. I nod without hesitation. "Yes, I missed you." I make up an excuse. I just want to see her in the dress I bought her. Then I'll go. My real plan. She absolutely cannot leave this cave today. Nyx smiles agreeably. "Okay." A moment later, she steps out in the dress. "Does it look good?" She takes my breath away. I can't stop staring. "It looks great. It's a human-style cut. Do you like it?" She says anything I give her, she likes. Pip chimes in. "Congratulations, host." Nyx's blackening meter drops sharply. Affection meter plus 0.5, 30 points rewarded. Then she wraps her arms around my neck again. "Now that I've changed, are you leaving?" I say quietly. "I was going to wait until you fell asleep." Her eyes well up and she blinks back tears. "You're still going?" Before either of us notices, night has fallen. Rex finally runs out of patience. The Dark Clan goes into hibernation in a few days. I'll go work on a different villain heroine. He taps open the teleport function from his starter pack and vanishes into the Dark Clan forest. In the cave, I lean in close and confirm Nyx is sound asleep. I call her name softly. No response. I quietly tap open my teleport function and vanish from the cave in an instant. When I open my eyes, I'm standing at the door of my home in the tribe. I glance around quickly. Nobody saw. There's still a light on inside. Faye hasn't gone to sleep. I push open the door. Faye! I'm back! Up in the tree, Luna has witnessed the whole thing. She drops into human form, brow furrowed. Strange. Lee actually knows high-level magic. Faye had been asleep on the floor in her fox form. She snaps awake at my footsteps, shifts back to human form, and looks up at me with bright eyes. You're finally back! I set 2 fish on the table. Why are you sleeping on the floor? She thinks, I went out to catch fish and came back this late. Though honestly, just 2 fish is pretty weak. Just as she offers to go bring me dinner, I stop her. Wait, answer my first question, she says quietly. I'm just used to sleeping on the floor. I shake my head. You clearly prefer the soft bed. Don't think I don't know. I reach out to pat her head, but she flinches back, afraid I'm going to hit her. Promise me. From now on, you sleep in the bed. I gently pat her head again. Don't be scared. I'm not going to hurt you. Faye's cheeks go faintly pink. She thinks to herself, he's been acting stranger and stranger lately. I immediately switch to a scowl. If it's ready, I'll go get it myself. Can't have you poisoning me. With that, I turn and head for the kitchen. Faye blinks, caught off guard. Then she relaxes. He hasn't changed, just a little less mean. While I'm grabbing the dishes. From the kitchen, Pip reports, Faye's affection meter plus 0.1 cent. 5 points received. I'm a little surprised. This girl gets harder to read by the day. Pip cheers me on. You've really hit your stride with Faye. Hit 150 points in the system shop upgrades. I'm feeling downright unstoppable. I carry the dishes into the room. Faye, sit down and eat, or else. She sits down obediently. Okay, I set down the dishes and add, you have to eat a full meal. No skipping. Understood? Faye nods. Got it. And just like that, we share our first meal together. A moment later, I feel a strange itch on the sole mark on my neck and scratch it without thinking. Faye's eyes drift to my neck. She slams her hand on the table. I nearly jump out of my seat. She leans in and examines the reddened patch of skin, then asks, clearly upset, you've been marked by the Dark Clan? I decide to play dumb. When the Dark Clan grabbed me, one of them bit me. I slipped away while they were out hunting. Is this mark going to be a problem? Faye thinks it through carefully. Someone from the Dark Clan has claimed you. They'll force you to be with them. I feel a guilty conscience stirring. She's completely right. Her voice is firm. We have to leave. Somewhere the Dark Clan can't easily reach. Once they've claimed you, you become their breeding tool. And once you're no longer useful, they discard you. I look at her seriously. Then you'd be free, wouldn't you? She pauses. I just don't want to see someone I know get hurt. She turns away, unable to meet my eyes. I smile. All right, I know you're loyal. Sit down and eat first. I'm tired from fishing today. We'll deal with the mark tomorrow. Faye finally sits. I'm going to need to keep her calm. The last thing I need is for her to find out about Nyx. After dinner, I get ready for bed. Faye has already shifted back into her fox form and curled up on the bed, looking perfectly content. I can't help reaching out to touch her big fluffy tail and think to myself, so soft. Come to think of it, I've never even tried shifting into a wolf. I gently press my face against her tail, and Faye jolts awake with a start, letting out a startled, ow. I look up, confused. Pip delivers the good news. Faye's affection meter plus 1, 50 points rewarded. Total points now at 150. The rank 2 system shop has been unlocked automatically. The little fox actually snuggles closer on her own. She finds this warm. I stroke her head gently. Good girl. Go to sleep. The next morning I wake up and glance over at Faye, still sound asleep. She really does look sweet like this. 2 hours later, she gets ready to head out for work with the other female slaves and reminds me before she goes, when you get a chance, go talk to the village chief about moving. I wave her off, then grumble quietly to Pip. If I move out of the tribe and Nyx finds out, her blackening meter will explode. But Faye is dead set on leaving. I'm completely stuck. In the end, I decide to go find Faye and talk it through. Across the way, in the orchard outside the tribe, Faye is quietly picking fruit, but Rex is lurking behind a fruit tree, watching her. His plan, today he will make Faye like him, no matter what. He spends 2 points in the system shop on a pearl outfit, which boosts his charm by 100% for the next hour. Just as Faye loads the last fruit into her basket, Rex steps out and calls her name. She looks up, to find a sleazy-looking stranger staring at her, offering to carry her basket. Faye politely declines. This is our work as female slaves. You don't need to get involved. Rex is stung. Why isn't the outfit working? Maybe she's just shy and playing hard to get. After all, even without dressing up, he'd rate himself a solid 9 out of 10. That's when I arrive to find Faye and walk straight into this scene. This guy is poaching right in front of me. Absolutely not. Time to play the wounded puppy. I call out in a soft, hurt voice, Faye. She turns at the sound of my voice. I walk over with the most dejected expression I can manage. If someone's already helping you, I guess you don't need me. Rex is puzzled but dismisses me as no competition. I turn to leave, feigning disappointment. I won't interrupt. Wish I hadn't bothered coming out. All that worry for nothing. Faye rushes to follow me back. Pip chimes in. Faye's affection meter plus 0.1, 5 points rewarded. I take her basket. Then dinner's on you tonight. Has to be amazing. Amazing. I feel a swell of quiet satisfaction. Thought you could poach, did you? On the way back, Faye warns me to watch out for that man. He knew I was a female slave and still approached me openly. He's up to no good. I smile and nod. She adds, and don't pull what you just did. If the men in the tribe see that, they'll think even less of you. I suddenly wave my hand near her face. This time she doesn't flinch. Not so scared of me anymore? She shifts uncomfortably. Just walk. People will stare. I don't care what people think. I just want to make it up to you. Faye looks down. You're the master. I'm the slave. There's nothing to make up for. But inside, she thinks, he really does seem different now. Faye's affection meter climbs to 3 stars. She may just be a villain heroine I need to win over, but honestly, she's flawless. Faye, your smile is beautiful. You should smile more. Her eyes dart away shyly. Let's go home and eat, she says, and keeps walking. I laugh and follow her. I'll do the cooking. Rex watches us go, and makes up his mind. He needs to get rid of me. Without me out of the way, Faye is out of reach. He's starting to suspect I'm a fellow transmigrator. Slick urges him to move fast. If I clear all 7 villain heroines first, it's game over for both of them. Rex suddenly recalls something from the source novel. A certain Dark Clan cannon fodder female character, who will do any dirty work for whoever gives her a sliver of hope. That evening I finish making dinner. I've barely carried a bowl of soup into the room when lightning flashes behind me, and a woman launches herself at me. I dodge just in time. When she closes in for a second strike, Faye throws herself in front of me. Her arm catches the edge of the lightning bolt and she loses her balance. I catch her before she falls. Thankfully the wound isn't serious. Faye turns to me. Is this the Dark Clan woman who marked you? No. The woman in front of us speaks. Voice flat and cold. Tonight you die. Your death is the only way I survive. It turns out Rex had found her half an hour earlier and made her a promise. Kill Lee, and he would take her as his female slave. Give her a real identity. Once a human or beast clan acknowledged her, she would finally be free of the Dark Clan forever. She chose to believe him, and came here to kill me. When she attacks again, Faye tries to step in front of me once more, but gets kicked clean out of the room. Luna, watching from outside, freezes. The Dark Clan just walked openly into the tribe. She quietly begins to cast a spell. My eyes go cold. She touched Faye. I will not let this go. Before the Dark Clan woman can react, I unleash my newly bought combat technique and blast her out of the room. She coughs up blood, and before she even hits the ground, I flash to her side and drive a kick into her abdomen. She crashes to the earth. Luna lowers her spell and laughs softly. Lee, how many more surprises are you hiding? Having watched me put the assassin down with her own eyes, Faye is stunned. She had no idea he was this powerful. I press my foot down and demand, who sent you? She clenches her jaw and says nothing. I finish her with a single move. Keeping her alive serves no purpose. I crouch down beside Faye. Are you hurt anywhere else? She asks instead. When did you learn to do that? I'm stumped. I can't exactly tell her I bought the combat technique from the system shop, so I improvise. When the Dark Clan grabbed me, a moment of desperate clarity unlocked something in me. She's clearly skeptical, but wonders quietly, is he some kind of natural-born genius? From nearby, Luna murmurs with a smile. Even the weakest Dark Clan member requires a rank 2 warrior to defeat. That technique was definitely not self-taught. And as for Faye, wounded as she is, her inner potential is immense. Her inner core must be sealed. I only stopped in this village to recover from an injury. I didn't expect to stumble into so much entertainment. Elder Shu rushes over with several tribal warriors and demands to know what happened. I gesture toward the body. A Dark Clan member slipped into the tribe and tried to kill Faye and me. One warrior checks the woman on the ground. She's dead. Elder Shu asks who killed her. Since Lee normally can't even lift a bucket of water, he can't imagine he managed this. I sidestep the question. That's not what we should be focusing on right now. We need to find out how she got in. Faye calmly considers it. She thinks someone inside the tribe let the Dark Clan in. Elder Zhu frowns. Normally, the Dark Clan would be heading into hibernation soon, unless someone promised them something significant. He asks me if I've made any enemies. Faye looks at me. Remember the man from the orchard? It was probably him. She tells Elder Shu the man's name is Rex, someone she's never seen in the tribe before. Elder Shu's expression hardens. He knew she was your slave and still approached her in private? He showed up a few days ago asking to stay temporarily. He orders the warriors to bring Rex in immediately. 10 minutes later, Rex is brought before the group. Elder Shu demands, Lee suspects you hired the Dark Clan to assassinate him. What do you have to say? Rex bows politely. If he wants to accuse me, he'll need proof. Elder Shu studies him. He doesn't look like a criminal. He hesitates. Rex allows himself a small private smile. From what I've heard, Lee is lazy and useless, and has a habit of beating his female slave. So how exactly did he escape the Dark Clan and make it back alone? I can't believe this guy is turning it around on me. He definitely arranged the assassin, but with her dead, there's no witness and no case. Faye speaks up for me. My master killed that Dark Clan member himself. Isn't that proof enough? Rex suddenly notices the bite mark on my neck. He's been marked by the Dark Clan. If he was marked, how did he escape? Privately, he thinks I'm riddled with holes. There's no way I can win this. I let out a tired sigh. I'm done arguing with this guy. I turn to Elder Shu with an earnest look. I was actually planning to talk to you about this. I was marked, and I nearly died getting back. Faye and I are going to move to Yongshan City to stay out of the Dark Clan's reach. We leave tomorrow. Elder Shu worries I have no means of income and asks how we'll survive in Yongshan City. Then Rex suddenly steps in front of us. You're not going anywhere. He's panicking. He can't let me take Faye. Elder Shu looks baffled. What business is it of yours where they live? Rex makes something up. Lee's connection to the Dark Clan hasn't been cleared up yet. He could be fleeing to avoid punishment. I give him a flat look. I don't have proof you're behind this, but you don't have proof I'm in league with the Dark Clan either. Faye's expression goes cold. Slick sends Rex an urgent alert. Faye's blackening meter toward the host is spiking fast. Reconsider your approach. Besides, there are villain heroines to pursue in Yongshan City too. Rex lets out a cold snort. Fine, do whatever you want. I'm done here. I watch him storm off and relax a little. No risk of Faye being lured away for now. Faye watches him go with ice in her eyes. Back inside, the room is a wreck. Faye picks up a piece of broken door and tries to patch it. I tell her not to bother. Broken is broken. I take her hand. You never liked it here anyway. Think of it as a fresh start. We'll have a new home. She echoes softly. A new home? That's right. Ours. I walk inside and drop onto the bed. Get some rest tonight too. Faye says we really should close the door. I laugh. There's nothing in the Lai household worth stealing except you. Come on, I left room for you. I won't do anything. If you don't trust me, you can shift back into a fox. Faye hesitates, but agrees. If you try anything, I'll fight back with everything I have. After the candle is out, I say goodnight and close my eyes, but she can't sleep at all. Her mind keeps replaying everything I've done for her these past few days. She turns over and looks at me in the moonlight coming through the window. Lee, if you keep treating me well, I'll stay by your side and make it work. I open my eyes and look at her. You don't have to push yourself. Pip delivers the good news. Faye's affection meter +2, 100 points rewarded. Her affection meter climbs to 4 stars. I reach out and gently stroke her hair. Let's start over. I won't treat you the way I used to. I'm sorry. Faye goes still. Then she hugs my arm tightly. Okay. The next morning I wake up first. Her affection meter is glowing at 4 stars. Faye opens her eyes, finds me watching her from close up, and quickly rolls over. I just slept too deeply last night. No need to explain, I tell her. I'm heading out. Start packing. She asks what's so urgent. I tell her I need to sort out our residency papers, then get some food for the road. I give her fluffy fox ears a gentle ruffle, and smile warmly. Wait for me. I walk out the door, completely unaware that Luna has been tailing me all along. A flash of blue light, and just like before, I vanish into thin air. Luna drops into human form, eyes sharp. Where did he learn magic that advanced? If I absorb him, that power becomes mine. I was heading to Yongshan City eventually anyway, and my wounds are nearly healed. Meanwhile, I've already teleported to the entrance of Nyx's cave. I spend 5 points on a basket of meat, then walk in with a smile. She sensed me coming and launches herself at me from behind, wrapping her arms around me, and fires off a string of questions. Is your injury better? Why did you bring a whole basket of meat? Will you hibernate with me? I missed you so much. I answer as I step inside. I missed you too. I came to bring you food for the winter. Wolf Clan doesn't hibernate, but my injury still hasn't healed, so I need to travel and find a healer. Nyx freezes. Where are you going? My chest tightens. I thought I could gloss over it, but she's as sharp as ever. I set down the basket and gently take both her hands. I planned it this way on purpose. I'll be back before you wake up from hibernation, and I swore I'd never abandon you. She turns away, but I'm still scared. I pull Nyx close. I know how hard your life has been, not trusting people easily. That's how you've protected yourself. I don't blame you for doubting me. I keep going. I'll grow stronger, strong enough to break the Dark Clan's hold on you. I'll give you a stable life. Whenever you want to see me, I'll come back. We have a soul link now. Every time your mood has dropped, I've shown up. Have I ever lied to you? I close my eyes and press a kiss to her forehead. Nyx suddenly asks in a small voice, before you go, could you help me one more time? Looking into her hopeful eyes, I scoop her up in a princess carry. Of course, whatever you need. By the time night falls, I finally teleport back to the tribe. Faye is packing up their things and greets me with a bright smile. I quickly set down the 3 fish and a chicken I picked up on the way, and reach over to tuck her messy hair back into place. Look at you, working so hard your hair's gone wild. Faye suddenly leans into my arms. Stop being so good to me. I'm afraid I'll actually fall for you. The next morning, I say goodbye to Elder Shu, and set off with Faye on the road to Yongshan City. After 2 full days of travel, they reach a waterfall and make camp. I tell Faye to go wash up while I gather firewood. She insists that gathering firewood is her job. I shake my head. We're out of the tribe now. Stop thinking of yourself as a slave. We're family now. Faye stands there, stunned. She never imagined he would treat her this way. I urge her to go ahead. I've already checked the area. There's no one around. Her heart pounds. Pip stares at me in awe. Host, you're incredible. No matter what you do, you keep raising the little fox's affection meter. I walk deeper into the forest, noticing the vegetation growing unusually thick around me. Pip suddenly remembers. There's a Forest Clan villain heroine named Ivy who lives somewhere just like this. He quickly checks the coordinates. Sure enough, this is her territory. Without warning, A green vine shoots out from behind a tree and coils around my body, flipping me upside down and hanging me from a trunk. This has Ivy written all over it. In the original story, she's not just obsessive, she's also dangerously fixated on looks. And my bare face? 6 out of 10 at best. I figure I have no shot. Pip, however, insists my charisma is off the charts and I'll be just fine. Then Ivy steps into view and looks me over carefully. Well, a Wolf Clan boy. It's been so long since I've seen anything alive. I remember that in the original story, Ivy was sealed by the Forest Clan High Priestess and is still asleep. So this can't be her real body, right? Ivy leans in and asks curiously, "What's your name?" I answer honestly, "Lee." She blinks. "You smell wonderful. I bet you taste even better." Just then, Faye's urgent voice cuts through the trees from not far away. "Lee." Ivy pauses for a moment, then tells me before vanishing, "I'll come find you again." And just like that, she's gone. The vine releases me, and I drop hard to the ground. Faye rushes over, face full of worry. "What happened to you?" I sigh. "Just ran into someone from the Forest Clan. A bit of a problem." She picks up on the cold, oppressive energy hanging in the air, grabs my arm and pulls. "Something's wrong here. We need to leave, now." Half a month later, we finally reach Yangshan City. It's a sprawling city where the beast clans and humans live side by side. I can't help but marvel. Yangshan City is incredible, so lively. But Faye looks a little wistful. My homeland was even more magnificent. I ruffle her fluffy ears and promise to help her rebuild it. In the original story, it was Rex who helped Faye restore the Fox clan, and she eventually became the new empress. I plan to do far better than him. Faye suddenly asks, "Do you already know what I've been through?" I look away guiltily. Just a guess. I used to be a real jerk, but looking back, I finally understand how hard things were for you. Faye studies me with complicated eyes. "Sometimes I feel like you're a completely different person." I rush to explain. "I'm still me. People grow. And honestly, I'm still terrified you hate me." She suddenly smiles. "Whatever the case, I hope you stay exactly like this from now on." I tell her not to worry, and suggest we find a place to stay first. But Faye says cheerfully that she already has somewhere in mind, and leads me to the front gate of a grand manor. She knocks gently. The door opens to reveal a beautiful Fox clan woman. The moment she sees Faye, her eyes go wide. "Your Highness." Vera was the personal handmaid of Faye's mother, fiercely loyal to the Fox clan, and a formidable warrior in her own right. The two embrace, and Vera's voice breaks. "I never dared hope I'd see you again in this lifetime." Faye wipes the tears from her eyes. "After everything that happened, I was sold to a Wolf Clan tribe." Vera's expression drops. She can only imagine how much the princess has suffered all these years. Faye smiles and nods. "It's all right. It's all in the past now." Vera's gaze shifts to me, sharp and assessing. "And he is—" The air turns awkward fast, because the very person who mistreated Faye was the original owner of this body I'm in. Faye says quietly, "He was my master." I quickly add, "Not anymore. We're family now." Vera goes quiet for a moment, then takes Faye's hand and leads her toward a room she's had ready for a long time. Vera never forgot the promise she made. After all, the Fox Queen had given her everything. Vera brings Faye to a beautifully furnished room and tells her to rest, but Faye catches her hand. "Can Lee have the room next door? He's been good to me." "Don't worry." Vera's brow furrows, clearly not convinced, but she rolls her eyes at me and points to the room next door. "I can sort it out myself." Then she turns back to Faye with a warm smile and heads off to arrange food and wine for a proper welcome dinner. After Vera leaves, Faye tries to help tidy my room. I tell her there's no need. She looks at me sincerely. "You gave me back my freedom. Helping you clean a room is nothing." Stepping into my room, Faye sighs softly. "Since I was sold, I've never been back to Yangshan City. So much has changed. Want to go out and explore tonight?" But then Pip blares an emergency alert. "We have a problem. Nyx's blackening meter is spiking." Faye looks at me in confusion. I scramble for an excuse. "Suddenly need the bathroom." I bolt outside and immediately tell the system to teleport me. 1 second later, I'm standing outside Nyx's cave, but what I see makes my chest tighten. Nyx has been thrown out of the cave. On instinct, I open my arms and catch her, the impact sending us both crashing to the ground. 3 dark clan women emerge from inside the cave, eyes gleaming with predatory greed. "Well, look at that, a little wolf boy delivered right to our doorstep. So soft and tender, looks absolutely delicious." The yellow-haired one eyes me and thinks, "No rush, we'll take turns with him first. Then, once we've gotten what we need, we'll dry him into jerky." Nyx is worried I can't beat them, that I'll get eaten. Pip's urgent alert fires again. Her blackening meter is climbing even faster, to keep her from spiraling. I tell her to stay put and rest. "I'll handle this." I stand up and face all 3 dark clan women directly. "Anyone who dares touch what's mine, are you tired of living?" Nyx freezes. "He said I'm his?" Yellow hair lets out a cold laugh. The 3 of them crack their knuckles, ready to make me regret opening my mouth, but I'm completely calm, because I spent 50 points on a premium combat skill earlier. Yellow hair charges first, fist raised. "Come on, little wolf boy, let's see what you've—" She doesn't finish the sentence. I send her flying with a single punch. Green hair and red hair exchange a glance, their smirks instantly replaced by wariness. This wolf boy is actually something. They both rush me at the same time. I just stand there and smile. 2 punches, bam, bam, and they go airborne, slamming into the stone wall. Behind me, Nick stares with wide eyes, stunned. He's this strong? I walk over to the three of them, crumpled and bleeding on the ground. Normally I don't hit women, but mess with my people and you're asking to die. You believe in survival of the fittest, don't you? Then let me send you off. I release my final strike and end the fight. Cleanly, coolly. Then I turn back to Nyx. Let me carry you inside so we can treat those wounds. Pip chimes in with good news. Her affection meter is rising fast. 200 points rewarded. I gently carry her to the stone bed inside the cave, then pull a bottle of medicine and some cotton swabs from the system inventory. First, let's stop the bleeding and clean the wound. Bear with me. It might sting a little. Without warning, Nyx leans up and kisses me. I panic. Get the wound treated first. It'll split open if you move around. But she says she can't wait. I put on my sternest face. Behave. Let me finish treating you. Nyx blinks, then finally goes still. As I apply the medicine, I murmur, just go into hibernation and rest easy. I'll come check on you every few days. She jerks her head up. You're leaving again? I start making things up. The tribe needs to stockpile supplies before the mountain pass snows over. I'm one of them. I can't just abandon everyone. She looks down, dejected. I press on. But if I selfishly abandoned my own people, wouldn't you be afraid I'd abandon you someday too? Doesn't that make sense? That hits Nyx somewhere deep. Her nose goes red, and the tears spill over. I wipe them away while I keep talking, laughing bitterly to myself. Here I am, spinning lies to win over a villain heroine. I'm starting to sound like the villain myself. Once the medicine is done, I pat Nyx on the head. I'll come see you soon, okay? She grabs my hand and won't let go. So soon? Can't you at least leave tomorrow? My heart softens. Fine, I'll wait until you fall asleep. It's not safe to head back too late anyway. Pip updates me. Affection meter rising. She's working hard to accept that I have to go. Nyx leans against me and whispers, I really don't want to hibernate. 3 whole months of sleep. I promise her, one day I'll take you somewhere you never have to hibernate. Then we'll never have to be apart again. She nods quietly. It doesn't take long before Nyx drifts into a deep sleep. The next second, I'm back at Vera's estate, quickly brushing the mud off my clothes and shoes before Faye notices anything. But just as I'm about to head upstairs, I find her standing on the steps with her arms crossed, waiting. You were gone so long. Where did you go? I stammer. Couldn't find the bathroom, ended up wandering out to the edge of town. Faye watches me in silence. Why is he lying? But she turns and says simply, your room is all set. Go take a bath and rest. I'm baffled. She clearly doesn't believe me. So why isn't she pushing? Pip reminds me. Once one villain heroine is fully won over, she won't blacken anymore. Better to focus on maxing out Faye's affection meter while Nyx is in hibernation. But Rex got burned last time. If he shows up in Yangshan City, that's trouble. I need to move first. Get the villain heroines in the city on my side before he does. First impressions matter most. If they're already loyal to me, Rex can't touch me. I collapse onto the bed. I am absolutely exhausted. I browse the system shop and find fermented bean juice and bitter herbal water. Unlimited drinks for just 1 point. I figure a sip of something awful might actually wake me up. For the next stretch of days, Faye and Vera are almost always out handling things together, not returning until deep into the night. Meanwhile, I slip off to check on Nyx in her hibernation, making sure to use the scent-neutralizing spray when I get back. At dinner tonight, Faye sniffs the air and asks, why do you smell so nice lately? I keep a straight face. Ran into someone outside who reeked of sweat, and it finally hit me how bad I used to be. Now I'm actually making an effort. Faye just says mildly, fair enough, you really used to stink, but her eyes tell a different story. She clearly knows I'm lying, yet she holds herself back from asking. That only confuses me more. A month slips by without notice. Diana, Yangshan City's resident villain heroine, still hasn't returned. Word is, she went to visit her master at the royal court. I'm still thinking about it when Faye's voice drifts in from outside. This is the first time she's come back this early. She looks a little guilty, worried she's been neglecting me. There's a night market festival in the city tonight. Come out with me. I have nothing going on anyway, and spending time with her will help raise the affection meter. I go to change clothes, but she grabs my hand and says not to bother. Instead, she drapes a warm black robe around my shoulders, one she made herself. I can't believe it. She's been busy until midnight every single day, and she still found time to make this for me. I pull her gently into my arms. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing for everything I put you through before. Faye's eyes soften. She looks up at me. The festival's about to start. Let's go. I sigh quietly to myself. This sweet fox has never once been treated with kindness, and all it took was a little warmth from me, and she trusts me completely. We step into the bustling festival street, and she actually reaches over and takes my hand first. There's a procession tonight. The High Priestess rides out on a ceremonial float. I blink. Does that mean Diana's back? Faye explains. Diana is from the Dog Clan. She trained under the Royal High Priestess, so her status is very high. The business I've been handling lately is related to her, actually. My power is sealed, and she's helped restore power to clans like mine before. I quickly ask Pip, can the villain heroines find out about each other? Pip explains, they're only blocked from knowing about each other's connection to me, to prevent jealousy and blackening before they've been won over. I groan. Tell me these things up front next time. I thought the second they met I was done for. Then Faye tugs my hand gently. Diana's here. Several Dog Clan warriors carry a palanquin into view, and seated inside is Diana, the High Priestess. Faye murmurs beside me, she despises men. Approaching her won't be easy, I know. Winning her over is going to take real work. After Diana's palanquin passes, I buy Faye a steaming hot bun and nearly drop it because it burns my fingers. Then I find a ridiculous hat and put it on, which makes her burst out laughing. Before I know it, the real highlight of the night begins. After the fireworks show lights up the sky, Faye is absolutely glowing. On the way back, Pip tells me Faye's affection meter has shot up, 150 points rewarded. Back at the estate, Faye goes to heat water for my bath. Vera walks in and can't hold back. Your Highness, you're free now. There's no reason for you to do chores yourself, especially for a Wolf Clan man. Faye just smiles. Maybe it's just become a habit. Vera shakes her head. You are a princess of noble blood. If the Fox King hadn't been betrayed, that Wolf Clan boy wouldn't even be worthy of carrying your shoes. Faye tells her she doesn't understand, and to get some rest. There's something big happening in a couple of days. Now Vera's really curious. She comes right out with it. You've fallen for that boy, haven't you? Faye's face goes red. What? It's nothing like that. His parents bought me to find him a wife, that's all. I just feel sorry for him. He's far from home with no family of his own. Vera gives her the look of someone who sees right through it, then says seriously, I understand, but you have to keep your eyes open. Faye nods. I know, I'll remember. Vera yawns and turns to leave. Faye sits quietly for a moment, feeling strange. Why has her heart been racing ever since they got back from the festival? I suddenly catch a faint, sweet scent in the room, but it isn't soap. Pip alerts me. It's pheromones, coming from Faye. That's when it clicks. In 2 days she turns 19. No wonder she's been acting differently today. Fox Clan females release pheromones for around a week when they come of age. By 19, most already have a mate to help ease the symptoms. I want to help her, but I'm worried about misreading things and triggering her blackening instead. While I'm still trying to think of something, Faye calls over her shoulder. Bath's ready. What are you spacing out for? I clear my throat. There's something I want to talk to you about. She tells me to wait until after the bath. The water gets cold fast in winter, and she doesn't want me catching a chill. I can't hold it in. Your 19th birthday is in 2 days. She blinks. She'd clearly forgotten. No surprise, given no one has ever helped her celebrate. I ask her directly, do you know that Fox Clan females release pheromones at 19? She goes still. No wonder my heart keeps pounding. I wasn't kind to you before, and I don't know how you see me now. I'm not trying to take advantage of this. She rises up on her toes and kisses me. I was always going to be your family. That's why they brought me home in the first place. I stare at her, completely at a loss for words. My gaze makes her flustered. Don't look at me like that. You're making me shy. This time, I'm the one who kisses her, though my thoughts are in complete chaos. Then I pull back half a step. A flash of uncertainty crosses Faye's eyes. I say, I don't know what's come over me tonight. She steps toward me and looks me straight in the eyes. I hated you. I resented you. Did you know that? She looks down and keeps going. But then you became a completely different person, and right now I just need one answer. Are your feelings for me real? I won't give myself to anyone else. You're the only choice I've made. She gives me a light push, and I stumble backward into the wooden tub behind me, water splashing everywhere. This moment belongs to just the two of us. Her affection meter finally hits 5 full stars. First villain heroine, 1 over, 1,000 points rewarded. The next morning, Rex has just stepped into Yangshan City, when a sudden sharp pain grips his chest. His system slick issues a warning. Faye has been redeemed. The host must win over another villain heroine quickly, accumulate 3,000 points, unlock the Tier 6 system shop, and obtain a forced reversal item to restore the villain heroine's blackening meters. At the same moment, Faye wakes up and finds me watching her quietly. She's momentarily dazed. She scrambles upright, remembering she still has business to handle with Vera. She hurries off to her own room. I'm in a fantastic mood. First villain heroine, successfully won over. This world is wonderful. Then Pip suddenly calls out for me to get up. Something urgent. Turns out he's leveled up to rank 4, and he can now sense the main system entering Yangshan City. I snap awake instantly. Rex is here for Diana. The next second, I'm teleported to the alley outside Diana's estate. I've barely gotten my footing when I hear Rex grumbling from behind the wall next door. He's been turned away at the gate. No surprise, since Diana despises men. Through slick, Rex knows Diana has old scars on her body. The scar removal ointment from the system shop should be his answer, but he can't even get through the front door. Still, he has a protagonist's blessing behind him. His system is more advanced than Pip. He'll find a way eventually, but I have a sharper mind than he does. I quickly ask Pip, is there anything in the system shop that can temporarily change my gender? Pip answers, no. But there's something that might work. For 50 minutes after use, anyone who looks at you will perceive you as female. It costs 100 points. The problem is I can't see how I appear to others, which makes me nervous there's a catch. Pip assures me it's the most suitable item available for this purpose. Good enough. I decide to buy it. First I want to test it on Rex, see if he recognizes me. I take a deep breath and walk in his direction. The moment I step forward, the item takes effect. In Rex's eyes, I've become a tall, silver-haired woman with an air of cool elegance. His reaction says it all, and I feel deeply unsettled. Being stared at by a man like that is genuinely creepy. I ignore him completely and head straight for Diana's front gate. Rex's eyes stay glued to my retreating figure. If only one of my villain heroines looked like her. I think through what excuse to use for requesting an audience with Diana. I spend 5 points on scar removal ointment from the system shop, then run to the front gate in tears, looking absolutely devastated. Please, I need to see the High Priestess. 2 female guards ask what I need, and I act too ashamed to say it out loud. They exchange a glance, immediately understanding, and one of them opens the gate and offers to take me inside. I thank her with relief. On the way in, she says softly, "This involves a man, doesn't it? Don't be afraid. The High Priestess will figure something out for you." Diana doesn't only preside over ceremonies, she quietly helps women who've been mistreated by men. When I'm brought to see Diana, she's sitting peacefully outside a garden pavilion. The guard gives my hand a gentle pat. Trust the High Priestess. I lift the white curtain and step inside. Diana greets me warmly and gestures for me to sit, then pours me a cup of tea. "What can I help you with?" I study her quietly. She really is remarkably gentle with women. If her childhood hadn't been so cruel, none of what followed would have happened. In the original story, Diana's father abandoned her and her mother in pursuit of greater power. Her mother never recovered and was gone within a year. Diana began drifting alone after that. And at 8 years old, she was bought by a man from the ape clan to work as a slave. When she was old enough, he turned predatory and tried to force himself on her. Diana fought back with everything she had and barely escaped. She was later taken in as a disciple by the Phoenix clan's High Priestess. And that's how she rose to where she is today. Seeing that I still haven't spoken, Diana smiles gently. "You don't have to say anything if you're not ready. Sometimes just coming here to breathe is enough." She's genuinely a kind soul. I have to save her, show her that good people still exist in this world. So I speak up quietly. Actually, it involves a distant cousin of mine. I wanted to travel with him to learn trade, but my family said a girl has no business wandering outside, and to stop me, my father wants to marry me off to a much older man. Diana's fist hits the table. "That's despicable! She only wants to travel with a cousin for business. How can a father do that to his own daughter?" She pulls me gently into her arms. "Don't be afraid. This is Yangshan City. I will not allow that to happen. Go home and talk to him first. If he still refuses to listen, come back to me. I'll make sure justice is done." I thank her quickly. "Just talking to you has made me feel so much better." Then I take out the scar removal ointment as a token of gratitude, claiming my cousin made it himself. Supposedly very effective. She looks a little surprised and politely declines, but I insist, because if she's willing to try it, my next step in the plan becomes much simpler. I set the ointment on the stone table and turn to leave it a light jog. Diana follows me to the edge of the pavilion, then stops. Thinking about my situation, she lets out a quiet sigh. She looks back, her expression unreadable, at the little bottle sitting on the table. I'm just about to leave Diana's estate when Pip senses Faye nearby and tells me to hide quickly. I dart behind a large tree in a panic and watch as Faye and Vera approach from a distance, almost certainly here to discuss removing the seal on Faye's power. I wait until they pass before slipping away. What I don't realize is that every bit of this has been seen by Luna, watching from the shadows. Lee is talking to himself and hiding from Faye. He's clearly carrying quite a few secrets. What an interesting man. Meanwhile, Faye and Vera are escorted to the main hall by the female guards. Faye kneels respectfully. I ask the High Priestess to help remove the seal inside my body. Diana pauses. The name sounds familiar. "You're the princess of the Fox clan?" Faye answers. "Not anymore. The Fox clan has been in decline for many years now." Diana can see what Faye wants, to restore her clan to power and avenge her parents, so Faye bows low and pleads. "Avenging my parents and my people is only right. Please help me." Diana studies her. "Removing a seal isn't something that happens in a day or two, and the process will be painful. You need to be certain." Faye's gaze is steady and clear. "As long as I get my power back, I'll endure anything." Diana looks mildly surprised. "Then give me a few days to prepare. I'll send word when I'm ready." Faye lights up like a child. "Thank you so much." Back on my end, I'm asking Pip whether there's any way to slip out and pursue other villain heroines without Faye finding out. Pip suggests the decoy doll from the system shop. It can mimic my mannerisms and basic movements. Answer simple questions from villain heroines, though there's always a risk of being found out. 100 points per month, and it stops working if I don't renew. I decide to try it for a month and see. Tonight, after dinner, I'll make an excuse to return to my room, sneak out, and let the decoy doll cover for me. I need to keep watch to see whether Diana uses the scar removal ointment. The whole third phase of my plan depends on it. An hour later, Faye comes back and throws herself into my arms. Diana has agreed to remove my seal. I'm about to celebrate with her, but her expression suddenly shifts. "Why do you smell like the High Priestess?" My stomach drops. I forgot to wash up after visiting Diana. Pip fires an urgent alert. Negative emotional fluctuation detected in Faye. Even though she's been fully won over, jealousy could still interfere with the mission. I say nothing. She asks quietly, "You went to see Diana?" I look away, playing uncomfortable. "I didn't want to tell you about this. I wanted to help you get your seal removed faster. So I went to deliver the scar removal ointment and put in a good word for you, but you know how she feels about men. It took everything I had just to get inside, and she threw me out after 2 sentences. Lucky you handled it yourself in the end." Faye grabs my hand. "You went to see the High Priestess alone for my sake?" She hugs me tightly, full of guilt. "I'm sorry. I actually doubted you." I breathe out in relief. Winning over villain heroines might be the hardest thing I've ever done. After dinner, I wait until Faye retreats to her room, then pull out the decoy doll I redeemed from the system shop, and a perfect copy of me appears right in front of my eyes. I tell him to cover for me, sleep first, and play it by ear after that. The decoy obediently pulls the blanket over itself and closes its eyes. I give a satisfied smile, then teleport to Diana's estate. She's in the hot spring in the back courtyard, bathing, staring down at the old scars on her body, grinding her teeth in fury. She scrubs at her skin like she's trying to wash away the past itself. I've made my way to a rooftop nearby, and am watching quietly. Pip detects Diana's blackening meter climbing. I know she's fallen back into those memories. At least back then she wasn't violated. She killed that monster herself. Then a loud splash breaks the silence as something drops into the hot spring. The maidservant nearby rushes over and wraps Diana in her outer robe. Pip reports, "The one who fell in is Rex." I freeze. What in the world is he trying to pull? Rex staggers to his feet inside the water, dripping. That jump item was way too powerful. It launched me straight into Diana's hot spring. She hasn't seen my face clearly yet. I need to get out of here, but a golden magic seal array flares to life, locking him in place. Diana stands there, furious. Don't you know where you are? Rex claims he was just passing through. Diana laughs coldly. She's not buying a word of it. Rex frantically pulls out the scar removal ointment. High Priestess Diana, I came specifically to bring you this. Internally, he's furious at Slick for teleporting him into a hot spring. Slick weakly explains, the teleport function sends you to a random location near the villain heroine. I didn't know she was bathing. Diana doesn't move an inch. She orders her guards to seize this suspicious man. Rex sees the situation collapsing and activates his emergency teleport. He disappears on the spot. Diana storms out an order. Effective immediately. Double the security in this estate. Any male who sets foot inside without my permission goes straight to the dungeon. Up on the rooftop, I watch the whole thing with my head in my hands. What was Rex even thinking? Pip speculates it was a mistake. Even the original male lead pulls rookie moves sometimes. Unless he actually thought crashing into her hot spring was a bold way to make an entrance. Pip doesn't think he's that clever. Pip asks what we should do now, watching Diana storm off in a fury. Her guard is sky high right now. Best to retreat and regroup. I activate my teleport and return to Vera's estate, just in time to hear Faye knocking on my door. Are you asleep? I quickly tuck the decoy doll away and open the door. Faye is wearing a cute white dress and wants to come in for a bit. She pulls a small mung bean cake out of her sleeve and looks up at me sweetly. I bought this on the way home today. I wasn't sure if you'd like it. Faye says what she's been holding in. The High Priestess said removing my seal will be painful. I didn't let it show in front of her, but honestly, I'm a little scared. I pinch her cheek lightly. You've made your decision and I'll be right there with you. Whenever you need me, I'm here. She buries her face in my chest again. I just hope you stay like this. Please don't go back to who you were. I tell her not to worry. The old Lee is gone, and until I return to my own world, I intend to take care of her. Then Pip suddenly delivers good news. Diana's blackening meter has dropped, and her affection meter just went up by 1. She must have used the scar removal ointment. By tomorrow morning, more points should be on the way. Faye bows her head and says softly, my birthday is almost here. Can I stay in this room tonight? I smile and nod, though I know exactly what's coming. For the next 7 days, she'll be releasing high-concentration pheromones non-stop. At least Nyx is in hibernation. Otherwise, I'd never be able to manage. There's one thing that does worry me, so I bring it up with Pip. Pip suggests the stamina tonic from the system shop, 10 points per bottle, and once purchased it can be refilled without limit. I place the order immediately and down a full bottle. The effect is immediate. I feel completely recharged. Faye begins to radiate a soft, sweet fragrance, and she curls up contentedly against me. I hold her close and say quietly, happy birthday. Moved by the gesture, Diana applies a little scar removal ointment to the scars on her arm, though without much expectation. But the next morning, she looks in the mirror and gets a genuine surprise. The scars have faded noticeably. Pip delivers the good news first thing in the morning. Diana's affection meter is up by 0.5. Getting closer to her from here should be much easier. She may even have people out searching the whole city for me right now. Sure enough, not long after, one of Diana's female subordinates reports, we've searched the entire city. There's no sign of that young woman from yesterday. She may have already left. Diana frowns. Did she sneak away with my cousin? The thought makes her laugh out loud. A woman with fire. I like that. She tells her subordinates to keep looking, but not to force it if there's no trace. They're also to ask around the market for any leads on the scar removal ointment. By midday, I'm lounging in a wooden chair soaking up the sun, while Faye and Vera talk quietly nearby. Word has spread through the neighborhood that Diana is actively looking for me. All I have to do is find the right moment to appear before her and make an introduction. After all, those scars are a shame she can't erase on her own. Just as I'm thinking this over, Faye sits down beside me. She says she plans to wait until this delicate period passes before going to the High Priestess to have her sealed power lifted. It'll be a rough stretch in the meantime. I say with full confidence, it's nothing. Whatever you say, I'm with you. Her cheeks go even redder. After a moment, she says quietly, as if thinking out loud, once my power comes back, I won't be able to stay by your side as much. I know exactly what that means. In the original story, after Faye recovered her power, she tracked down her parents' former followers, began plotting to restore the Fox clan's rule, and led her forces against the traitors a year later. I nod, dead serious. Don't worry, I'll be your strongest support no matter what. She looks at me with concern. Yesterday was a lot for you. I tell her I can handle it. Then, without warning, she cups my face in both hands and presses a gentle kiss to my forehead. Thank you, she says, and she means every word. What a sweetheart this little fox spirit is. Meanwhile, Diana's subordinates make their way to a pharmacy on the main street. They ask the shopkeeper whether he sells this kind of scar removal ointment or knows anyone who does. The shopkeeper breaks into a cold sweat. Never seen anything like it. Probably something a traveling physician carries. There are quite a few of them in Yangshan City. The women leave, disappointed. They've now visited 8 pharmacies without a single lead. The High Priestess has made it clear this matters. They have to find it, no matter what. Not far away, Rex has been keeping an eye on them all day. Something feels off. This plotline wasn't in the original story at all, and after staking out Diana's estate all yesterday, he saw no one suspicious come or go. Before anyone realizes it, 7 days have passed. This particular morning, Faye sits at her mirror, combing her hair. I take a bottle of scar removal ointment from the system shop and tell her I bought it from a traveling physician. She should bring it when she goes to see Diana. She turns with a look of surprise. 2 days ago, guards from Diana's estate came asking me. The bottle they described sounded just like this one, but they searched for days and found nothing. I play innocent. What a coincidence. That day you took me to the market, I happened to notice Diana had scars. I figured she might need something like this. I give Faye's head a gentle tousle. Mostly I wanted to help you make a good impression. When you're asking someone for a favor, a little gift goes a long way. Faye looks at me with a trace of reluctance. I might be gone for several days. Could even stretch to 2 weeks. I take her hand and tell her not to worry. However long it takes, I'll be here waiting. 10 minutes later, Faye and Vera arrive at the High Priestess's estate with their gifts in hand. Diana glances at the gifts and says coolly that there's no need to be so formal. Faye can see that the ordinary gifts haven't made much of an impression, so she brings out the bottle of scar removal ointment. I do have one more small gift for the High Priestess. A family member picked this up from a traveling physician. Diana's eyes light up instantly. She opens the cap without hesitation, leans in and takes a sniff. Sure enough, it's identical to the one she used before. Delighted, she decides to spend a few more days working out the fastest possible method to break Faye's seal, one that will spare her some of the pain. Please go home and ask your family which traveling physician sold them this. Faye is mildly surprised by the warm tone, but nods and agrees. Diana presses her palms together and channels a surge of power into the red bloodstone in her hands. She holds it out to Faye. Wear this close to your body every day, and it will begin to unlock the first layer of the seal. It will come in useful again when I come to find you in a few days. Faye thanks her earnestly. Back home, I'm browsing combat techniques in the system shop, only to find that anything worth having costs over 100 points. My balance is too low. I need to farm the villain heroine's affection meters before I can afford the skills I actually need to survive. Pip suddenly chirps with exciting news. Diana's affection meter is rising fast. One heart lit up. I smile, satisfied. Turns out her affection can go up even without me showing my face. Though I still wonder, will clearing those scars bring her blackening meter down too? The original story made it clear the scars are just one part of her pain. Her father's cold departure and her mother's grief-stricken death both left deep shadows on her childhood. Still, it's a good start. I'm just over 300 points away from unlocking the level 3 system shop, where everything drops to half price. Just then, there's a commotion outside the gate. Faye and Vera are back already. Sooner than expected, Faye runs over and throws her arms around me, telling me the ointment worked perfectly. It was exactly what the High Priestess had been looking for, and Diana treated Faye with remarkable warmth. In a few days, Diana will use a better method to break the seal, and she's already given Faye a red bloodstone to unlock the first layer. With that, Faye rises onto her toes and presses a kiss to my cheek. Her affection meter lights up with a red heart. 500 points rewarded. I freeze. Hasn't Faye already been fully won over? Her affection meter was already at 5 pink hearts. How can it still level up? But good news is good news. The system shop has just upgraded to level 3. I take Faye's face in my hands and can't help laughing. You really are my lucky star. And I lean in and kiss her cheek right back. With her affection meter leveled up, Faye wastes no time taking out the red bloodstone to begin lifting the first layer of her seal. The power within the red bloodstone flows slowly into her body. Then she suddenly clutches her chest, and her body goes limp. I ask in a panic what's wrong. She thinks it's because her body hasn't channeled power this strong in so long. It can't handle the side effects of the unsealing all at once. I gently wipe the sweat from her face with a cloth. Don't push through it. Rest a while, then try again. She shakes her head. She wants to lift the first layer as soon as possible, and activates the red bloodstone again. Her brow furrows almost immediately. Then the red bloodstone in her hand goes still. It stopped responding. I suggest going to ask the High Priestess. Faye thinks Diana is already working on a more thorough approach, and doesn't want to bother her. She turns to me with a look of apology. I rushed it. I didn't follow the guidance of the power inside the red bloodstone. I need 3 days in seclusion to balance my energy, then I'll try again. I tell her not to worry and to leave everything at home to me. Faye also worries Diana might come looking for more ointment. If you hear anything about the traveling physician, please pass word to her for me. I smile. Leave it to me. She nestles quietly against me. There will be so much more to ask of you from now on. Between us, nothing is ever a burden. Everything I do for you, I do willingly. Her expression softens with warmth. Thank you. Meanwhile, in the hot spring at the back of the High Priestess's estate, a female attendant is applying scar removal ointment to the scars across Diana's body. One bottle is used up quickly, but many areas remain untreated. Diana instructs her, tomorrow I'll pay a personal visit to Miss Faye's residence. Prepare a generous gift. She looks down at the areas just treated. Scars that have marked her for years are finally, slowly, fading. Back at the house, I've just seen Faye to her room and close the door behind her. When Vera hurries over, worried, I tell her there was a small setback during the unsealing. Faye needs 3 days in seclusion to rebalance her energy. I pull Vera aside and instruct her. If the High Priestess comes looking for ointment tomorrow, please hand her these 3 bottles for me. It wouldn't be appropriate for me, as a man, to receive her. 3 bottles likely won't be enough either. I'll go look for the traveling physician tomorrow and buy more. Please take good care of Faye. Vera's expression softens noticeably. You really do think of her at every turn. I'll look after her well. I quietly run the numbers in my head. With Faye in seclusion for 3 days, it's the perfect window to check on Nyx, who is still in hibernation. And once Diana uses up the 3 bottles, she'll be back for more. As long as I stick to the plan, I can win her over step by step. With Faye in seclusion, I head to the cave where Nyx sleeps. I've brought a down blanket and some food. Her hibernation still has 2 months to go. When she wakes up and finds these waiting for her, her affection meter is sure to jump up nicely. Pip suddenly cries out, Nyx has fallen into a nightmare. Her blackening meter is rising fast, and there's no way to wake her from outside. My stomach drops. Then what do we do? Pip recommends purchasing the dream talisman. It lets me enter her dream and reach her from the inside. 100 points. Single use only. I curse the system for being a total scam, but grit my teeth and buy it anyway. As the dream talisman takes effect, I find myself standing in a forest. Not far ahead, a small, slight figure is running. A young Nyx, clutching a piece of meat tightly to her chest. 3 men are chasing her from behind. She's running so hard she catches her foot on a stone and stumbles. She goes down hard. The men snatch the meat and walk off, throwing insults behind them. Show your face in this village again and we'll kill you. Young Nyx lies on the ground, trembling all over. I run over and help her up. Don't be afraid. I'll protect you from now on. You must be starving right now. She flinches and stumbles back a few steps, then stares at my face and freezes. Are you a servant of the gods? I gently pat her head. I'm the person who's here to protect you. As long as I'm around, no one will ever hurt you. I lead her to a small wooden shelter. This safe house will always protect you. It cost me 200 points from the shop. Not that she needs to know that. She grips my arm, eyes suspicious, and says it looks like a human house. She won't go inside. I smile. That house was built just for you. Whenever you feel afraid, go inside. It will keep you safe. Nyx clings to my arm and asks quietly, will you leave me? I ruffle her hair softly. Never. Whenever you need me, I'll appear. Her blackening meter finally stops rising. Young Nyx looks up at me, completely sincere. When I grow up, can I stay by your side forever? I crouch down to her level and say without hesitation, of course you can. Back in reality, I look at the sleeping Nyx and feel a pang of heartache. She relives her unhappy childhood like this often. All those years of suffering, there's no knowing how much she endured. At least the safe house in her dream can keep those shadows at bay. I'm still thinking this over when Pip shrieks, Nyx's blackening meter is rising again. I have no choice but to enter the dream again. I walk up to the wooden shelter and knock gently. The door bursts open. Dark wisps of energy pour out, and in an instant they coil around me and drag me inside. Nyx glares at me, full of resentment. You liar! You said whenever I needed you, you'd appear, but 10 whole years went by and you never came. Before I can get a word in, she bursts into tears, sobbing that I'm the worst kind of liar there is. I gently wipe her tears away. You've misunderstood. I didn't lie to you. We're in a dream right now. 1 minute in the real world can feel like 10 years in here, and you're trapped in a nightmare. If you sink any deeper, you might never wake up. I lean a little closer. If you truly want to be with me, you have to leave this nightmare behind. She thinks it over for a few seconds, then suddenly throws her arms around me and demands we hold a wedding ceremony right here. Otherwise, she won't trust me. I stroke my chin and think it through carefully. It's all a dream anyway. Refusing her will only drive the blackening meter higher. So I look her in the eyes with complete sincerity and say, I love you. I want to be with you forever. Nyx, overwhelmed, leans up and kisses me. When I come back out, Nyx is broken free of the nightmare. The blackening has stopped. Her affection meter goes up, and I'm rewarded 500 points. 2 stars left, before she's fully won over. With Faye still in seclusion, now is the time to visit the third villain heroine, Ivy. I activate the coordinate teleport, and the next second I'm standing in Forest Clan territory. Pip delivers more good news. Villain heroine, Diana's affection meter is up by another 0.5%. 100 points rewarded. That must be her collecting the 3 bottles from Vera. A group of Forest Clan female guards passes right in front of me. I dive into the bushes. Forest Clan members double their perception in any area with vegetation, and 2 spears appear at my throat before I can blink. Who are you? What are you sneaking around here for? Spotted that fast. I let out an awkward laugh and lie. I'm a traveling merchant from a wolf clan settlement. The red-haired guard narrows her eyes. Then where's your merchandise? They march me toward the tribe, demanding to know where my goods are stored. Say the wrong thing, and there'll be consequences. I tell them calmly that I left everything in a cave nearby, because I actually did prepare for this in advance. As we reach the tribe's gate, a green vine is quietly trailing behind us. The moment it nears the entrance, a powerful force scorches it, and it recoils in pain. The vine belongs to Ivy, sealed away in the tribe's forbidden zone. She's already sensed my arrival. Whatever she's thinking, she keeps it to herself. I'm brought before the forest clan's high priestess, Wang Xia. She looks me up and down, then asks her subordinates what I've done. The blonde guard reports honestly. He claims to be a traveling merchant, but he was lurking outside the gate, acting suspicious. I speak up quickly. I simply heard that your tribe had sealed away a powerful member of the forest clan. I happened to be passing through. Pure curiosity. Wang Xia's expression shifts sharply. How do you know about that? Tell me, who told you? I keep my lie calm and easy. Word has been out for a while now. She stares at me, only half convinced. Once your identity checks out, you'll be released and free to trade in the tribe as normal. I'm locked in a room with 2 guards stationed at the door. That evening, I summon the decoy doll and let it lie on the bed, sound asleep. Then I teleport close to Wang Xia. 2 bodyguards are with her. To avoid being spotted, I have Pip redeem an invisibility cloak. 500 points gone. I follow them silently from behind, until we stop before an enormous ancient tree. Wang Xia halts and speaks directly to it. Ivy, come out. So this is where Ivy's true form is sealed. Inside the tree itself, slender vines begin to push out from the bark, and one of them sneaks quietly toward me. And before I can react, it slips right up through the hem of my pants. I go completely rigid. I'm wearing the invisibility cloak, so how does she know I'm here? Pip guesses that Ivy must have picked up on my presence back in the forest during the day. Ivy's form materializes before Wang Xia and asks what she wants. Wang Xia says nothing, just focuses on reinforcing the magic seal. Ivy lets out a cold laugh. Relax, I can't break your seal yet, Wang Xia thinks to herself. This is the forbidden zone. Almost no one in the tribe knows about it. If outsiders know, there must be a spy within the ranks. Ivy watches Wang Xia stay silent, and her eyes fill with cold intent. Wang Xia, the day I break free, you'll be the first one I kill. Wang Xia takes a few steps back. Sealing you away was not a choice I made lightly. Ivy looks down at her from above. And killing you is a decision I made a long time ago. Ivy's words land, and Wang Xia quietly slunks away with her 2 bodyguards. Ivy turns her gaze toward where I'm hiding. Stop hiding. Show yourself. I pull off the invisibility cloak. She takes one look at me and crosses her arms. Why were you following Wang Xia? I decide to be honest. I came to see the situation with your seal. She gives a small smile. That doesn't sound like a lie. Then she wraps her vines around me. Second question. You left my detection range earlier, so how did you suddenly appear here? I explain that I carry many tools, including one that allows me to teleport to a location. She wonders aloud why I'm so interested in her. I'm still deciding how to answer, when she adds, does that little fox who's always with you know you're here? I feel a little awkward. Not yet. Ivy looks at me like she can see right through me. Don't tell me you've fallen for me. If I were going to pursue, I'd do it openly. She lets out a short laugh. You're surprisingly straightforward, but then her eyes go cold. Whoever I want belongs to me alone. If he dares to keep someone else in his heart, I will kill that person. I keep my voice steady. Even if I did fall for you, I would fight to the death to protect her. Ivy scoffs. I never said I liked you. Why so defensive? Besides, you're not exactly easy on the eyes. You don't meet my standards. I let out a deliberate huff. Just because you don't want me, doesn't mean I want you. Don't flatter yourself. I grab hold of her vines and keep going. I'm going to break your seal and show you just how narrow-minded you are. She goes still. Pip whispers in disbelief she didn't blacken. Back at the room, the 2 guards outside are changing shifts. One peeks inside and sees my decoy doll sleeping soundly in the bed. They figure I really am just a traveling merchant after all. In the forbidden zone, Ivy looks at me with full suspicion. You want to break my seal? Don't joke around. How tedious. Her form dissolves back into the tree. I let out a long breath. Good, no blackening. I teleport back to the room immediately. When I open my eyes, I'm lying in the bed. 2 more days to work with. I'll sleep tonight and restore my energy. Tomorrow, I'll start looking for clues about the seal. The next morning, I'm brought before Wang Xia again. Her tone is noticeably friendlier. I pick up my goods and prepare to leave, when she stands up quickly to stop me. About the sealed one, has word really spread outside? I fold my arms and keep my tone casual. I heard it while passing through Yangshan City. Not many people know, though they did mention something about a massive ancient tree. I'm sure that has nothing to do with the seal. Wang Xia's heart lurches. They even know about the Yinshen tree? Who has been leaking these secrets? She strides to the door and leaves briskly with her 2 bodyguards. Something is clearly in motion. I slip in after them, arriving at a hidden chamber. The original story mentioned this place. It holds crucial items, and breaking Ivy's seal requires gathering all 5 of them. Not one can be missing. Wang Xia knocks on the bookcase, and 2 shelves slowly slide apart to reveal a staircase leading underground. The hidden chamber connects to a cavern below. Wang Xia stops before a glowing tree root. She takes out a talisman paper and sets it alight. A swirling vortex opens at the center of the root. She reaches inside, pulls out a green stone, visibly relaxes, then places it back. She turns and walks away. Behind her, the vortex slowly closes. So that's one of the key items. Pip notes, opening that vortex requires one of Wang Xia's talisman papers. I'll have to steal one. In order to stop Ivy from blackening and destroying everything, Wang Xia surely won't hold it against me. Pip suddenly shouts, "Trouble! Ivy's blackening meter is spiking." I stare in alarm. What happened? When I appear at the ancient tree in the forbidden zone, the tree is pulsing with an ominous light. I call out Ivy's name. A blinding burst of light strikes out, and her form appears, screaming wildly, "Let me out! Let me out!" I figure it must be because Wang Xia removed the green stone earlier. The suppressive power weakened, and Ivy lost control. Worse still, her blackening meter is already at 3 stars. Once she fully blackens, I'm done for. I yank off the hood of my invisibility cloak, and hold her hands in mine. I will break this seal and set you free. You have to trust me. But she can't hear anything right now. Still screaming, "Let me out," her eyes empty and frenzied. Then a green vine lunges forward without warning, and pierces straight through my abdomen. I can't even process it. How is this happening? The vine pulls back fast. I crumple to the ground, gravely wounded, and tell Pip to do something. Now. And this little opportunist recommends purchasing a resurrection potion. 1 sip and I'll be fully healed. But it costs 1,000 points. Absolute highway robbery. I grit my teeth and buy it, then drink it down as fast as I can. The wound seals itself visibly, right before my eyes. Ivy is still in a frenzy. Vines thrashing wildly in every direction. There's no way to get close. 1 more hour and she'll be fully blackened. Then I remember. She's completely appearance obsessed. The system shop has a face sculpting module, 300 points per use, and the face data can be saved. I pick the face of the legendary heartthrob Takeshi Kaneshiro, and the sculpting is done in under 3 seconds. In the softest voice I can manage, I say, "I will get you out of here soon. Please, trust me." She's still screaming, "I'll kill every last one of you." Then she freezes, because she's just laid eyes on my face, and even the frenzy stops cold. She looks a little embarrassed. "Sorry about that. I got a bit carried away." Her projection steps out from the tree, cheeks flushed. "You're genuinely stunning." I keep my expression completely neutral. "Good. Can you listen to me calmly now?" She's nowhere near calm. She closes her eyes and leans toward me. I've just switched my face back to normal when Ivy lunges forward and kisses me. After a moment, she pulls back and stares at my face. "Why did you change it back?" A cold feeling runs through me. Will her blackening meter spike because of this? Fortunately, Pip reports that her emotions are steady, so she doesn't actually dislike my face. She was just talking. Ivy lets out a long sigh. "You know, that was my first kiss." Her projection slowly fades, and right before she vanishes, she says, "I'll be waiting for you to come free me. As long as she didn't blacken, that's what matters." I teleport back to the Forest Clan settlement and check into an inn. 3 more items are needed to break Ivy's seal, and Wang Xia almost certainly knows where they are. But if those items are removed, the seal's power will weaken. And if Ivy loses control, she'll tear through the tribe when she breaks free, which will cause her to blacken completely. Just thinking about it gives me a headache, and I still have other villain heroines to win over at the same time. Nothing is going to move forward in a day or 2 anyway. I'll figure this out when I get back. I teleport to the front of Vera's house, push the door open, and find her training in the courtyard. I call out a cheerful greeting. She stops and wipes her brow. "The High Priestess came for the ointment yesterday. She asked me to tell you. She wants to thank you in person when you're back." I blink. "I'm a man, though." Vera gives a small smile. With fewer scars, her mood has lifted. "Be careful, but it should be fine." I casually pull out 3 more bottles of scar removal ointment. I track down the physician. He didn't have much left, and he won't be back in Yangshan City for 3 years. Lucky for us, he gave me the recipe and showed me how to make it. Vera takes the bottles and nods. "That physician sounds like a good man." I ask about Faye. Vera says there's been no trouble these past 2 days. She should be fine. I breathe out with relief and head off to buy the ingredients to make more ointment. The next day, I stand at the gate of the High Priestess's estate. "My name is Lee. The High Priestess visited my home a few days ago. I've come today specifically to deliver scar removal ointment." The 2 gate guards bow respectfully and invite me in. Rex, watching from a distance, sees all of this and clenches his jaw in fury. Lee just walked right in. Slick is visibly rattled. At this rate, he'll have won over every villain heroine and will be done for. Rex slams a fist into the wall. "I am the one who is supposed to save this world. The villain heroines already have feelings for him. Trying to force our way in will only make them turn against us. Better to drive a wedge between him and them. Once there's a rift, we take them all down in one sweep." A female guard leads me to Diana's room and asks me to wait outside. She'll announce my arrival first. I don't expect Diana to let me in. Sure enough, the guard comes back out and says the High Priestess is not available to receive visitors. She's sorry to ask me to wait out here. I wave it off and say it's no trouble, then find a cushion and sit down. Diana's just a thin curtain away. She tells me she's grateful for the ointment I sent before. I tell her, "I've brought more today, and from now on, I can make it myself. She sounds genuinely surprised. I explain. The physician is a kind man. He only ever charged the cost price. He's moved on to practice elsewhere, but before he left, he passed the recipe on to me. I tried making a batch last night. I take out 3 bottles. The blue one is my own batch. The others I bought from the physician directly. If you test them and notice any difference, please let me know. I'd like to improve. The female guard takes the bottles and carries them behind the curtain. Diana still has reservations. She asks, politely, why I would give her this. I answer honestly. Faye asked the High Priestess to help break her seal. We're already in your debt. Diana opens the blue bottle and leans in to smell it. Identical to the one she's been using. She gets up and steps out from behind the curtain. Thank you, Lee. Hiding behind that curtain any longer would be quite rude of me. I stand quickly and bow. Please don't worry. I know the High Priestess prefers not to receive male visitors. No offense was taken. A faint smile crosses her face. Pip chimes in with good news. Diana's affection meter is up by 0.5. 100 points rewarded. I steal a glance at her. A pink heart has lit up above her head. Things are going to get a lot easier from here. That evening, Faye's door blows open with a bang, and white smoke billows out. When she steps out, both Vera and I are speechless, because her entire presence has changed. There's a regal, untouchable quality about her now, and her very first words are, I'm starving. Vera tears up, overwhelmed. She never expected the transformation to be this dramatic. Faye carries herself like the Fox Queen of old. Faye says she wouldn't call it a success yet, but the red bloodstone unlocked 2 layers of her seal, more than anyone had expected. Vera beams and heads straight to the kitchen to cook. I can only imagine what she'll be like when all the seals are gone. I'm already looking forward to that day. I pull her close by the waist. I'm so happy for you. She holds on to me, her voice soft. Without you, I wouldn't have had this chance. Thank you. I mentioned that I visited High Priestess Diana this afternoon. Faye looks surprised. She actually agreed to see you? I smile, because I learned how to make the scar removal ointment. Faye gives me an odd look, like there's something she wants to say but hasn't yet. I ask what's on her mind. It turns out she just wants to spend some time together. I scoop her up into a Princess Carrie. You really are full of surprises today. Let's make the most of the time before Vera has dinner ready.